a better version of ourselves in the new year, right? Well, in order to do that, we have to look at our inner self. This includes getting rid of negative vibes and toxic people that may be in our inner circle of family and friends. And although this may sound harsh and tough, our next guest says it's something that must be and can be done. And before he joins us to give us the real answers, I am joined by Allison and Maureen. And hey, listen, we're just real folk, people, and we have issues with people that are in our inner circle of family and friends. And Allison, you really brought up the topic.
Right. Because you know why? And hey, everybody. I brought it up because for most of my life, I've been a person who didn't really want to upset the apple cart, right? So if somebody does something, you try to make other people feel comfortable, even if you know they're doing a toxic behavior or whatever, because you don't want the confrontation.
I would go on top of that I have always been the role of the peacemaker.
Right.
So I'm always trying to keep the peace, make the peace, and sometimes that's at my own expense.
Exactly. My whole thing is I tend to completely disengage. If you're doing something I'm not feeling, I cut it off and I can move on.
Good. You're good. You're good.
I mean, but it's something, it's learned behavior because I just don't want, here's the thing, because I have a short fuse and I know that when I blow up, I blow up.
Right.
And I'm like, before I take it there where there is no mending this fence at all, let me just disengage.
Okay.
But it's not always productive because I feel like somehow I missed some thread there that could have been more productive than
filter?
Right.
And with that, and with what all of us, because I'm sure you recognize yourself in one of us, unless you're one of these incredibly lucky people who don't deal with this. But
in which case, you should be our guest.
Yes, we would invite you to come on. But here's the thing, Mo. So in your way of doing things, my thing is, I want that person to know too. It is not just me wanting to be like, boom. No, something that you did was out of bounds.
And that's where I feel like I've missed. Like, I need you to also know instead of me just, because I'm done.
Right.
Now, you don't know that your behavior is not right.
And I want you to know. Mo doesn't even call me back anymore or whatever.
But I also think that has to be learned that you can't worry about what the other person thinks about you.
Absolutely.
You also can't constantly live your life trying to change the other person. Sometimes you can't change a situation. You can only change how you allow that situation to affect you.
So in this conversation, we were talking about it, and these ladies are my girlfriends, so we talk about it. And my question was, what are the physical words that you say? For somebody like me, you, or you, I want to be able to say, you know what, you are across the line. I'm just not going to deal with it, and I hope that you understand, or if you don't, I'm sorry about that, but I'm out. So I needed those physical words into this new year.
And it led to such an engaging conversation where I learned some things, and I hope to learn more this morning about what do you really say, because there are words that you do say that you think it's okay, but it still leaves it open-ended. And here's the situation you thought you've solved. Oh no, you've just kicked that can down the road. So I'm all ears to learning how to get through these toxic relationships and get rid of them
and
for
move
good.
on to 2018.
To a happier, healthier
so when we were thinking of wonderful people to give us advice, we turned to the counselor and author of Minerals for the Mind, Body, and Soul, Michael McGill. He has been on our show many times, and we've all felt very inspired and better after talking with him. So, Michael, are you there?
I am there. Good morning, DC. I'm sorry. I just love hearing you all converse and have this conversation. So many different perspectives and all reign true, right?
Okay, so fix all of us. Go. No.
You've got 2 minutes.
Well, this is the thing. First being first, it's a new year. We want to have new relationships. The reality is that the quality of our life really does stem from the quality of our relationships. So it's so important that we actually do take time to evaluate. But here's my caution. Before we decide to cut people off, we really should be also examining ourselves. Because anytime a relationship breaks down, there are two components that cause it to break down. Sometimes it means that one person's outgrown the other. Sometimes it means that someone's behavior is just too toxic. But evaluate, especially if you're cutting off multiple people, you want to first evaluate, what have I done to contribute to the breakdown? Either I have allowed something, I have accommodated something, I've been too passive, I've been too angry, whatever it may be, and then get the lesson. And then you have the conversation.
So what if
first evaluate.
So what if you've done the homework and you do say, okay, I've done all that. It's really not me. I need to divorce this person from my life. What do you say and do to get that ball rolling where it doesn't turn into this like, oh, this, World War III, because you just need to be in a better space for yourself?
Absolutely, sure. So it's what I call actually having the honest and courageous conversation. So many folks, especially now, y'all, people will what we call ghosting folks. They'll either, disavow you on Facebook or disengage. They'll ghost you. Maybe they'll send you a text message. But here's my rule of thumb. As long as it's safe, as long as you really at the core feel that this person will not harm you or hurt you in any type of way, if they were quality enough for you to either date or be friends with or be in your family, then have a quality conversation with them. Give them that type of homage and honor to sit down. And so what I do is I always make it about me and my experience. And while some may say that's selfish, you really, when you use I statements, it's what we call being clear, being clean, be complete. Be clear in what you're talking about. Be clean in your language and be complete in what your ask is. So I always make it about me, my experience, and I'll give you a case so you taking notes, right? So
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Okay.
Mental, but
So for me, I'll say things like, this relationship has been draining me. In these past experiences, I have felt devalued, disrespected, and diminished. I know that in my relationships, I desire to have quality friends who honor me and I honor them. So do you see where I'm going with this?
Definitely.
It's not about,
Yeah.
well, you did this and you did that. It's about being clean and clear. For me, this is not healthy. So be complete. I'm choosing to disengage. We cannot be friends like we used to be. I'm choosing to move forward in a different direction.
And then, Michael, then what do you do? We've got 10 seconds. So you say this to the person says, well, you're crazy and I didn't do anything wrong. And then you say, okay, bye-bye.
Well, you know what? Have the gift of goodbyes. Okay. You have to have the gift of goodbyes. When it's time to go, when it's time to move forward, sometimes you have to delete them off Facebook,
Okay.
give them room to grow, give them space to grow, meet people where they are, and sometimes you leave them there. Don't attack their character. Don't assassinate their
Absolutely.
character. Meet them where they are. Broken people make broken choices. Have the gift of goodbye. I love you.
Michael
You
McGill.
are the best. Thank you so much. You can bill all three of us because we all owe you for that therapy
We hate to
session.
gift him goodbye,
Bless you. Be
but
encouraged.
bye-bye.
Thank
Happy New
you.
Year.
And we should go to break with the song Let It Go. Play.
Exactly.
Right now. Let it go. Let it go. Good day. We'll be right back. Let it go. Let it go.